A half hour ago, first at 5, we focused in on hair salons and other personal care services that are impacted by the orange zone restrictions. Well, now we want to talk about gyms, which will be forced to close throughout much of Erie County.
That takes effect first thing tomorrow morning, so we imagine a lot of people will be getting in that final workout tonight. So what is next for this industry? Joining us to talk about that is David Humphrey. He's CEO of a company that owns and operates more than 100 Planet Fitness gyms across the U.S. A lot of those are in New York State, and David's joining us. Or we'll have him in a second, I think, actually, Michael.
We know that David is connected in the system.
Yes.
We're working on pulling something up. I can see David on my screen in front of me. There you are, David. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So I want to start with what the Erie County executive said earlier on in this very show. We gave him the stats that you shared with us, just 45 COVID-19 cases combined at the 123 Planet Fitness locations across the state. The county executive kind of commending you and that record and your colleagues, but saying that they have traced some cases to gyms. Your reaction to that?
It would not be surprising if out of all the million members across New York, million of New Yorkers who join a gym somewhere, some of them have had contacted COVID at a gym somewhere. What's important to remember, I think, is the difference between very small facilities, because gym is a big word, right? A big category. It covers everything from small little hot yoga studios or small little spinning class operators, all the way up to huge 20,000 square foot facilities like Planet Fitness. There is quite a difference between them. And County Executive Paul Cars was also talking about the tattoo parlors and barbershops as examples of very close contact personal care services. That describes a hot yoga class or a spin class, perhaps. It certainly does not apply to Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, the average Planet Fitness is the size of 4 basketball courts. You are not in close contact with people there. You're on your own treadmill, doing your own thing. Closest possible person is 6 feet away, most of the time, much more than that. So it's unfortunate that all gyms have been lumped into the same category.
I was going to say, David, because a lot of people have sort of joked that this is the world's worst group project, right, when we're dealing with the pandemic. And with everybody sort of lumped in together, what is your solution? What do you think would be a better way of handling it?
Well, government needs to be able to draw fine distinctions. It's just part of what governments need to do. And in this case, it's very clear that you can support treating large facilities over 10,000 square feet, differently than smaller facilities. The volume of air and the airflow is very different in a larger facility. And this is all about the distribution of air in a facility. So that's what they need to be thinking in terms of, is differentiating larger and smaller facilities. That's an easy to measure, easy to understand distinction that's completely justified in terms of air volume and airflow.
And David, do you know if there is any effort underway to take that message to the state, to take that message to the governor, and hand them the data and hand them the science that we know people have told us about before?
We're certainly working on it. And let me just emphasize, we completely understand what the state is trying to do, and we applaud Governor Cuomo and his team for being as careful as they are being. They're trying to keep people healthy. We totally agree. We are trying to communicate the facts of the matter up through the ranks, and that's a constant discussion. The other thing we're trying to keep people's mind focused on is that we're all so focused on COVID and the terrible deaths associated with that, not to underplay that in any way, but people in New York haven't stopped dying from heart attacks. People haven't stopped dying from strokes. People haven't stopped dying from diabetes. In fact, far more die from those things than die from COVID. Yeah. And yet we are keeping people from going to the gym and working out in a way that might reduce their chance of contracting those other kinds of issues. That's really unfortunate.
And we have to leave it there. We're out of time. David Humphrey, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
David, good to see you again. Thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. You can keep texting us your questions. We'll see you for another town hall tomorrow at this time.